You need to play Blueprints. No, really, I haven't been this invested in a game in years. Maybe not since my childhood days of stumbling through Return to Zork. If you like puzzles, this game is for you. If you like well-crafted, slow-burn mysteries and feeling like a detective, this is for you. Honestly, unless you need constant in-your-face action, this experience is for you because it is a really, really special one. For the sake of the mystery and keeping it intact, everything I say and show will be as vague as possible. It has been a long time since I got this into a game where it just lives absolutely rent-free in my head. No joke, I go to bed thinking about blueprints and dream about possible solutions to puzzles. I mean, the solutions are nonsense because it's a dream, but still, you get the idea. For transparency, I will say that I did work on this game in a small way. This matters because I don't want you to think I'm trying to sell you on something just because I worked on it. I actually tend to avoid titles I work on, so you know I'm being serious here when I say the whole world needs to know about this one. The first thing you need to know about Blueprints is that knowing as little as possible is probably the best way to enjoy it. I mean, it is a mystery/puzzle game after all, so the more you know, the less you have to discover yourself. Okay, so what exactly is Blueprints? It's sort of hard to pin down, but I guess you could call it a strategic roguelike puzzle adventure. You inherit a manor from your late uncle and are tasked with finding room 46. The problem is, the manor itself only has 45 rooms. You start each day, or run, at the entrance, and each time you open a door, you are given 3 options to pick from to determine what room will be on the other side. The most obvious goal is to get from one end of the manor to the other, but this is easier said than done. Firstly, you have a limited number of steps you can take each day, and goes down by 1 every time you enter a room. Each room is different, with some being complete dead ends, or you might end up positioning rooms in a way that blocks off any further progress. Certain rooms might be locked or require certain resources in order for you to draft them. The drafting element alone makes it very easy to get yourself stuck, so deciding what room to pick and where to put it is all part of the strategy. In terms of puzzles, as you explore the different rooms, you might find some obvious ones, like combination locks. It can take time for the solutions to some of these puzzles to present themselves, or for you to make the connections needed to understand what is being asked of you. And that, for me, is a lot of the appeal. This isn't a game with obvious puzzles. This isn't an escape room where you find yourself a combination with shapes and look around the room until you find those matching shapes. You really have to think and pay attention to things in order for it to make sense. It has some of the cleverest solutions I have seen in any game, and I have felt an unbelievable sense of accomplishment when I finally, maybe after days or hours, figured something out. Each run is the chance to try something new, make a new discovery, or try a different approach, or experiment with a theory. In terms of story, well, there is one. It's just buried there throughout the environment. You may never get the full picture, but I was satisfied with even just the small pieces I was able to find. I only wish I found more or was able to make stronger connections between what I did find to have a clearer understanding of everything. God, there's just so much here I want to talk about while keeping the mystery a mystery. This is definitely a slow burn. It may take a couple hours of playing to just start to get a feel for what it has to offer. It's about taking notes and drawing connections. You may walk into a room and see a safe with no obvious way to unlock it until much, much later when you notice something for the first time that tips you off. To avoid glazing this game too much, I will admit to some points where it's not perfect. In fact, I learned a new word just from playing this, and that's abstruse. The puzzles can be very challenging, and this is coming from someone who loves puzzles. It may require you to make some wild connections, or think in extremely abstract ways. Also, when you think everything could be a clue, every line on the ground, you start to see clues everywhere, and it becomes overwhelming. At times, I swear I was going crazy. I looked like this, but that was kind of the fun. What is an actual important piece of information and what is just flavor can become hard to separate. Later progression might also become a little stagnant as luck starts to play a little more of a prominent role. You might be looking for a specific room or a specific item that don't appear in the same run for multiple runs, which can become frustrating. It's also only in English and requires some real solid reading comprehension skills that can be limiting to a lot of people, even native English speakers like myself who just plain suck at reading. If you intend on picking this up, and you should, I do have 2 pieces of spoiler-free advice for you. Number 1, use a notebook. Writing things down was insanely helpful and kind of fun. Even if most of what I wrote down meant nothing or was nonsense and I found it hard to follow, it did help solve some puzzles and really got me into the whole experience. Number 2 is to try to figure things out on your own. I know the temptation of trying to seek help or answers online is extremely alluring, but it will remove a lot of the satisfaction you get from doing it yourself. As I said, the puzzles can be super hard. There are some things even I haven't figured out after hours of playing, but you are meant to piece things together slowly. Don't cheat yourself out of a solution you may eventually find the answer to by just playing. Whatever small shortcomings Blueprints may have, this is worth your time. I have invested so many hours into this game, and it still feels as though there are secrets I still have to uncover and want to uncover. I can't wait for people to experience this one. But for now, I'm gonna jump back in and stare at things I think might be clues for another few hours. Till next time, thanks for listening to me talk gaming.